Yo, what's going on everyone? Miles Midoriya here with a review and recap of Danmachi Season 4, Episode 19. First up, in another flashback, Ryu is still trying to figure out the whole thing about the justice stuff. She's trying to get Lyra's opinion as well as everyone else's to figure out the right answer. Lyra told her right is subjective. It's different depending on who you ask. Whether something's true or correct is ultimately up to each of them to decide, so make the truth acceptable to her. Ryu told her she wished she was that thoughtful all the time. Lyra told her that she is the pinnacle of kindness and sincerity, but Ryu recalls some skills she taught her. Stuff like the art of negotiation via blackmail, a plethora of intimidation techniques, different ways to win a bet, and how to cheat. Lyra said, if you want to take the trash out, sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. Ryu let her know that there may be some merit to that. She knows more about these underhanded tactics than she ever wanted to. Also, Ryu said she won't deny the fact that she is inexperienced. In the flashback, this is the beginning for Ryu, so it's interesting seeing this version of her that's new to different stuff. Lyra let her know knowledge is her weapon, information is her friend. Everything she's taught may very well save her someday. It's tough for her to wrap her head around it, she gets it, but it's better than being clueless. There's no rush, so try to turn her knowledge into wisdom. If she can do that, even she might be able to save someone else someday. That was a good conversation. We could tell a little she's trying to help out Bell. Hopefully she doesn't teach him any of those other skills, but he has been listening to what she says and it's working out so far. When Lyra said it's up to the person to decide what's true or correct, that is kind of true. Like when Ryu and Kaguya had their conversation, they had two different perspectives. If I remember correctly, Ryu wants to make sure she doesn't lose anyone in the process, and Kaguya said people may have to be taken out to survive. Two different perspectives from two people that may think they're right. In the next scene, we see Bell and Ryu talking about the Coliseum. She tells them that the monsters in there spawn infinitely. No matter how many are defeated, she is not joking. We'll talk about that later though. She said it's like a miniature condensed version of the dungeon itself. Not even a Loki familiar goes near it. It perhaps is the most dangerous area on the 37th floor. That might be a good place to level up, but in their world and situation, that is highly dangerous. Ryu was telling Bell that they reach the other side of the Coliseum, they'll end up at the normal route. Once they're there, they shouldn't have much trouble getting to the 36th floor. Bell was about to say something probably about going to a different route, but she interrupted him saying if they don't go to the route that she mentioned, they can't get to the normal route. She brings up there are 4 different exits, one to the normal route, the other is opposite of the passageway that they're standing in. Bell asked her how they supposed to cross the Coliseum with all those monsters out there. She told them that they're going to be avoiding fighting them. She took the piece of clothing that the Skull Sheep had to blend in and disguising their scent from a piece of the barbarian monster they fought. Bell let Ryu know he'd be lost without her. She manages to stay calm even in the situation that they're in, always making the right choices, and all he's good for is getting himself into trouble. He doesn't think he could escape the deep floors without her. That's when she told him to try to turn his knowledge into wisdom, which is a line that she got from Lyra. She said let knowledge inform his actions. If he can apply it to appropriate circumstances, he will get better at helping others, and then he'll be a stronger adventurer. Here's the part where I'm thinking she is thinking of separating herself from Bell so he can make it out. She asked him does he remember the shape of the normal route, the mapping technique that she showed him, then handed him some of the blaze rocks, also mentioning that they ought to divide up the items so they both can defend themselves regardless of the situation. I said, I already know what she got planned. They're making their way across the bridge and some of the monsters are looking up but they're ignoring them. Bell is in his thoughts trying to calm himself down. They're in the Coliseum and them monsters are going at it fighting. Just like Ryu said, when one of them gets destroyed, another one pops back in. Now, they're trying to maintain being at the top, walking slowly to get to the other side. Since they're in a place where fighting is taking place, it's not going to be that easy. Which it wasn't. One monster stopped right in front of them, then jumped down to fight the other monsters. Bell thought to himself, why does that place exist in a dungeon? Then he remembers what Aina said. There's a lot about the deep floors that they don't know, even heard stories of an arena where monsters pour endlessly from the walls, and he asked her if it was true. She said they aren't around anymore, but she was told that the adventurers from Zeus and Hera familiars once reported as much, said it was almost as though the dungeon was testing something down there. That was interesting to hear. Bell thought, who is being tested, the adventurers or the monsters? I thought if it was the adventurers, maybe it's to prepare them for them to have to fight a lot of monsters. After that, of course things weren't going to go that smoothly. Bell gets grabbed by one of the skeleton monsters. They try to make a run for it once the monsters started focusing on them. Ryu told Bell they mustn't face them head on. Focus on securing the path forward. Ryu had tripped, Bell helped her out, and he used Firebolt, and on the second one, Ryu combined it with a Blaze Rock. Ryu told Bell to head to the bridge. I was like, here it goes. She tells him to finish out the enemies ahead of them. She will use the magic to do something about the enemies behind them. They both defeat the enemies. Bell sees Ryu and she's not moving towards him. She's standing there using her magic. It boosts Bell to the exit and he was upset at what she did and he took off running. I think I remember some of this part from the light novel, but it's not even just that, it's Bell. He's not going to leave anyone behind. Ryu is fighting some of the monsters, but she's getting beat up by some of the other ones. She thought it was over, there was a burst of fire, so you already know who it was Bell. She wondered, how did he get there? Didn't recall when she told him the right side is connected to the maze, which means he went all the way around to come back and rescue her. Ryu was yelling out that they both won't be able to escape, he should just run. He's not listening to her, and she said she just wanted him to survive. Then she sees he has a blaze rock, he throws it, and it has that familiar glow that we've seen him with. Ryu is remembering her talk with Elise, and she said, what happens if someone manages to make their ideals a reality? Elise told her, isn't it obvious? Those are the people they call heroes. Then it's back to the current time. Bell uses Firebolt, and that's where the episode ends. Overall, that was a good episode. I liked the interaction between Bell and Ryu, and she really thought Bell was going to leave her behind. Bell's not going to leave his friends. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think about the episode, and what was your favorite part from it? Here's some more content to check out. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.